and then this is usually when things die down. Yes, there's March Madness.
Yeah, just like that, baby. It is in-game live on a Tuesday night. Countdown to the World Cup is on. Thursday, 3 p.m. Eastern, Mexico, South Africa. You are in luck because not only will you get NHL, Major League Baseball, WNBA picks, we're going to start to fire off some of these World Cup futures as well. Kevin Walsh, Gabe Morency. Gabe, it is great to be here on a Tuesday night.
What a massive week of sports. Last night, another epic NBA Finals game coming off the heels of a classic Game 3 over the weekend in Las Vegas with the Stanley Cup Finals and the countdown, the anticipation of the World Cup set to begin in less than 48 hours' time. It's time to rock and roll right now.
Yeah, it absolutely is. I know personally I'm ready to go through all of the non-outright futures just because I want to, like the outright stuff, people have already made up their mind probably who they're betting, so we'll be able to unveil a lot of that tomorrow. And the menus are so big, it gives us the time to, flip those pages. But I do not want to be disrespectful to a Stanley Cup final that did not, in my opinion, come in with the hype of Knicks Spurs, right? Vegas and Carolina are good teams. Carolina maybe was a great team. Vegas has pedigree, but there was not this otherworldly excitement. It is maybe, and I say this from hearing other people, so take it with a bit of a grain of salt, maybe the best 3-game start to a Stanley Cup final we've ever seen. 5-4 game number 1, 4-3 overtime game 2, 5-4 double overtime game 3. Vegas up 2-1 in this series, Gabe.
It's because it's non-traditional hockey markets, right? You know, if this was the New York Rangers versus the Edmonton Oilers playing the same level of hockey, people would be anointing it as the greatest event ever in the history of sport. There's no fans. Like, who likes the Carolina Hurricanes outside of Carolina? Yeah. And like, who likes Carolina Hurricanes in Carolina, Kevin? So let's say outside of Raleigh. Like, you know what I'm saying? So like outside of Raleigh, and not to mention they were the Hartford Whalers, so a lot of people just sort of have like, they don't like them. And their owner is this jerk that fired everybody after he just bought the Portland Trailblazers. And now, you got Vegas, who people are quite frankly jealous of, right? I mean, if you're a Flyer fan, you're a Leaf fan or something, right? You haven't won in 50 years, and Vegas come in and go to the Cup every year, right?
Yeah.
And do it in villainous fashion as well. But I'll tell you what, it's been the highest rated playoffs ever, Kevin. USA winning the gold medal evidently provided a pop, because the NHL's it's always been a niche sport in the U.S., but it's broken through. I mean, they're getting like 5 million people a night watching these games right now. That's a real number. 5 million people, that's a real number. But put it this way, how can you not be entertained, Kevin? And just to put it in a historical perspective, we've had through the first 3 games of a Stanley Cup Finals, this is the 4th most goals in the history of the Stanley Cup Finals, Kevin. Wow. It's pretty wild. Like, we go back to 1981, all right? And in those days, in the 80s, guys, everybody scored like 70 goals and stuff. So 1981, the North Stars and Islanders scored 30 goals in the first 3 games of Stanley Cup. 1973, the Blackhawks and the Canadiens scored 27 combined goals. 1980, the Flyers and Islanders scored 26 goals in the first 3 games of the Stanley Cup Finals. We've had 25 goals, Kevin, in the Canes and Golden Knights. 4th most in Stanley Cup history.
And think about the route.
If you like goals, you're being entertained.
But it's not. But the thing too, Gabe, right, is it's not just like, oh, these teams stink, right? The first game, we had the 2-0. Oh my gosh, Carolina's going to kill this team. Like, start. Timeout. Next thing you know, it's all Vegas. And then it's back and forth, right? It's 3-3 entering the third period. It's 4-4. You get the late goal from Vegas. Game number 2, was even crazier, where you get the 2-0 start for Vegas. Carolina battles back. It's 3-2. And with a minute 20 left, here comes Vegas again. Now you have to deal with us in overtime. They salvage it, Carolina. Goal. Right.
And a disallowed goal. Vegas scores a goal that doesn't count. Carolina scores seconds later. And then Vegas responds again right after. And then game 3 had a 4-0 lead.
Also, no one scored in the first period. It was 4-0 in the second period. And then Carolina wins the third period 4-0. I mean, these games have been insane.
Imagine being the head hockey trader at a major sports book. All right, Kevin, what do you think of the total tonight? Like, I don't know, dude. Like, it's 0-0, but we've had the 4th most goals in the history of the Stanley Cup Finals. There's this weird flow to it. And even me, I'm like, how the hell do you not just bet the over 5.5 tonight? I mean, looking at this. But let me just throw this out here because they get going early. I posted this right before we started, but WNBA basketball. We got an interesting game tonight, Kevin, with the Wings and the Lynx. Yep. I went all Lynx tonight. I took the Lynx on the money line, and I shouldn't say all Lynx because I took Olivia Miles to score 15 or more points, but I also took Jessica Shepard, Dallas Wings. Guys, double-double. She's had a double-double in 6 of the Wings' last 7 games. She's been a double-double machine, so I just want to throw that out there. Jessica Shepard, double-double. Olivia Miles, 15 or more, and Minnesota Lynx to win the game.
Yeah, she's mixed in triple doubles as well. She's been incredible. Olivia Miles has been better than I think even her biggest fans could have imagined, and it's a big reason why Minnesota are off to the start that they are off to here. The Sky are up on the Dream at the break. We saw this the other day with Atlanta. They start out slow a little bit in these games, and then they just kind of turn it on. They did it with the Connecticut Sun game. Wouldn't be surprised if they do it here to the Chicago Sky, although it is a road matchup. Late night Golden State and Phoenix. There's a number of baseball games to get to, but one thing I just wanted to start with quickly, Gabe, and I'm wondering if you could add some clarity to what in the world is going on with the goaltender situation here for Carolina. I saw a tweet from @reporter Chris, an NHL insider for The Athletic, who said Frederik Andersen wasn't on the ice at 7:40. You know, Freddie Andersen entered this series the favorite to win the Conn Smythe, and all of a sudden, this guy might have lost his spot.
Things can change in a hurry, Kevin, and it was unbelievable. He wasn't even in the building yesterday during their skate.
Crazy.
He was nowhere to be seen. Like, he was just gone, and we can officially tell you right now that Freddie Andersen is listed as a healthy scratch, not injured for this evening.
Wow. What do you make of that
Imagine
decision?
that. But, and put in context, Kevin, the Carolina Hurricanes, guys, have not lost back-to-back games in the playoffs. And he just lost his job. They haven't lost back-to-back in the playoffs yet, right? They lose a game, right? They lost 2 games. They haven't lost back-to-back. They lost to the Canadians, and they rattled off 4 straight. They lost game 1. They won game 2. They lose. Just to throw it out here, guys, the Carolina Hurricanes have not lost since January the 13th, back-to-back games. January 13th.
Like, Gabe, to try and draw a comparison for people who don't follow hockey, I don't think it's perfect. This would be like if the Patriots at halftime of the Super Bowl.
Yeah, it's close to a quarterback change.
Like Ben Straker.
It's not quite, but
you know what like
it is quite. Like, yeah, it is close. Yeah, like,
Andersen was favored to win the MVP game of the NHL playoffs. Like, he was the favorite.
He came in. You're right. He came in as the Conn Smythe favorite. You're right, in the Stanley Cup Final. And not only that, like at a low price, like plus 200 or something, like plus 280, plus 180. Yeah. Plus 175, plus 200, whatever, like in that range, you know.
And started
it really would be like,
maybe they should actually do.
Or, Carl Anthony Towns or something. Yeah, be like, you know what? Cat's not playing well suddenly.
I think it's
Cat hasn't scored any points in the fourth quarter of any of them.
And he's still outplaying Jalen Brunson. Isn't that incredible? Isn't that amazing? He's still so much better than Jalen Brunson in this series. Dribble.
You want that MVP bet. You want that MVP bet.
I do. Not only for my pockets, but for what's right in sports. Jalen Brunson is not getting MVP just because he shoots a bunch. It can't
Maybe
happen.
Becky Hammond was right.
Anything. She was.
Terrible start last year, injured all the way through, didn't have a chance to win that Major League Baseball season. This year, first team to 20 wins, first team to 30 wins, first team to 40 wins. It's all been the Atlanta Braves. Good baseball club lurking around here.
They still have some guys, some starting pitchers on the shelf there that could help them down the road, but the Braves are sitting pretty right now.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
Christopher Sanchez is the right call right now. What am I missing? Why is Shohei Ohtani not right there with him? Well, is it the innings, Donnie? What is it? What am I missing here? Because if he qualifies for the pitching title and he throws a lot of innings and he leads the major leagues in earned run average and even whip, like, well, what am I missing?
Pro Baseball Today, only on SportsGrid.
Class is in session. Today, let's talk about the teaser. A teaser is a multi-leg bet where you shift the point spread in your favor. You get better numbers, but every selection has to win. It doesn't matter what you bet if you don't have the insights. Tune into SportsGrid and get ahead of the class.
Hey there, it's your buddy Craig Carton. If you're trying to find out how to get all the great content that me and Tyrone Johnson give you every single day, here's Tyrone to tell you how.
You can subscribe on Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Spotify, and of course, Amazon Music as well. We're at all four.
That's right. It's the Craig Carton Show podcast every weekday morning live at 11, replayed at noon on YouTube and on SportsGrid throughout the country. Check it out.
All right, guys, in-game live on a Tuesday night, Game 4 of the Stanley Cup Final. Kevin Walsh, Gabriel Morency. We are now joined by Andrew McKinnis, who has hopped on with us here a few times on SportsGrid throughout the Stanley Cup playoffs. And McKinnis, man, what a series this has already been. Give me an idea, just before we get to your picks tonight, what has stood out to you the most through the first 3 games?
I think pretty much right now, Carolina's pressure is not bothering Vegas nearly as much as it's been able to for other teams. I think that the biggest thing that Carolina is able to do to other teams is their forecheck, the pressure they apply to opposing teams' defensemen. And I think that the way that Vegas has been so smoothly able to exit their own zones, it's caught Carolina off guard. A lot of the goals they've scored have actually been in transition. You know, think about fast break basketball. It's kind of like what we're seeing here for the Vegas Golden Knights. They're escaping their own end extremely well. And then when you look at the physicality level, I have to say, Kevin, Carolina has not been nearly physical enough. And a guy like Mitch Marner that has gotten a lot of flack for physicality in the playoffs and not being the same guy, well, they're giving him so much space. Like, I think it's almost worth taking a penalty or two just to jab him a little bit and show some physicality a little bit. The toughness battle is clearly being won by Vegas over Carolina.
It's a great point, Andrew, but you can't change who you are at this time of the year, right? You played 120 games. You are what you are. Carolina, you know, they're going to have to find ways to adjust. I do agree. They're just not they're just not a physical team. I thought that's one of the advantages that Vegas had. And I just want to say for the record, dear God, Vegas' show is over the top tonight. Like they got drummers coming down from the roof, and they got like knights skating around here on the ice, and like smoke, like fake smoke in the arena, like over the top production. But what do you make, McKinnis, of the goalie change for Carolina? And the fact that the Carolina Hurricanes, yeah, the sky's sort of falling, but I sort of look at it like the Spurs when they went on that 14-0 run. They didn't win the game, but it was like, guys, look how easily we just snapped our fingers and came back against these guys. If I'm the Canes, I'm taking positives away. I'm like, guys, we were down 4-0, we came back. We lost on a freak-ass goal. We're fine. We haven't lost back-to-back games, Andrew, since January the 13th. January the 13th is the last time Carolina lost 2 games in a row. What do you think tonight?
Gabe, I'll start with the goalie situation here. I got to admit, I didn't think Rod Brendamore had it in him. I did not think he had it in him because he's old school. Old school coaches like to stick to their guys. The new school coaches are the ones that like to make changes, panic, and show some change. So especially if he's not injured, man, oh man, do I tip my cap to this move, guys, because I heard what you were saying before I popped on, but the reason why Freddie was the favorite was because Carolina wins low-scoring games and their offense is spread out. So who do you give the Conn Smythe to? Well, Carolina. You give it to the goalie. But I don't think he's been that great. I just think he plays behind a really, really good defense. I think a guy named Morency could have won a couple games this year for the Carolina Hurricanes. That's how good their defense is. So when I look at this game tonight,
do you say that about Martin Brodeur and the New Jersey Devils? We're not going to get into a debate about it, but that was the thing that people would hold against Marty. He'd be like, yeah, he's great. He faces 16 shots a game. Right? And so I understand your point about that, but Kevin, he's not the right guy to ask. Like, it's like asking you about Brunson. I've seen Andrew's tweets like coming at Freddie all playoffs. He's not that good.
Hold on.
He's not that
now, see, Gabe, that's immediately how you fire me up. McGinnis, I got this, brother.
Now I got
this. Hold on. Yeah, McGinnis, guess what? You were right. Just like I was about Brunson. You can't say he's biased. They benched the guy. Shout out McGinnis. Well, he nailed it. That's a 10 out of 10 take, baby. Shout out you, brother. I love it.
It isn't a hot take if you were right. That's for sure. Yeah. So look, now that Brandon Bussey has been named the starter, I originally just liked the first period money line, but I'm going to go full game too. But guys, we all saw the first quarter from the San Antonio Spurs last night. Let's just pretend the Carolina Hurricanes are the Spurs tonight, and let's forget about the full game. First period.
Kane's first period.
Best way to go. I mean, look, I don't mind the full game now that Brandon Bussey's out there. But I think first period's the way to go here. And I'll tell you what, I've been wrong a couple times in this series so far. I could be wrong again. But Carolina needs an under, guys. I'm sure they're not saying that with the betting terminology in the locker room.
It'd be great if they were.
Under. They need a low-scoring game, and they need a defense.
Yeah, they want this to be 1-0. Yeah, 1-0 after the first period, 2-0 after the first.
Yeah. If I fell asleep the second I got off here with you guys and woke up in 4 hours and someone said the game was 5-4, I'll tell you Vegas won that 100%. This has to be 3-1, 3-2 Carolina. It has to be a defensive game.
What about Mitch Marner and that his shots on goal prop tonight is 2.5, but it's plus 125 to the over. He had 10 shots on goal in game 3.
I mean, I've never seen him like this, Gabe, before. I've never seen the shoot first mentality from him. I would agree with it. But I also would think if you want to take Mitch Marner stuff and if you like Vegas to win, you take Marner 2+ points. The guy, when he scores or when he gets a point, he usually gets another one. Everything he does comes in pairs right now. If not, it's coming in trios because he's getting hat tricks. So I wouldn't talk anybody off 2+ points for him, but the 3 shots is good. You know who I like for shot prop? Is Stan Coven. Logan Stan Coven over 2.5 for the Carolina Hurricanes. That top line has been shut down. I'm not going to try and predict when they're going to wake up because I'd be insane. The second line has been good. Stan Coven, Hall, and Jackson Blake. And I think if there's one guy that could win the Conn Smythe that's not named Mitchell Marner, I think it would be Stan Coven. Right now, Taylor Hall is the favorited player for the Hurricanes, but I think Stan Coven's the guy that can clutch it up and bring them back into this series. But I actually wanted to ask you guys about this here. I saw around -200 today for Mitch Marner. Talked to several people about this today. I don't usually bet a lot of -200s, but would you guys feel comfortable betting Mitch Marner to win the Conn Smythe regardless at this point if they even win the series? McDavid did it 2 years ago. They lost the series. He won the Conn Smythe.
He's Connor
That's
McDavid.
McJesus. Yeah, that's McJesus.
He's Connor McDavid. I think
the odds are -180 for Vegas to win the series, -200 for the Conn Smythe.
Mitch Marner's like Moses. There's Moses and Jesus, different levels.
terrible start last year, injured all the way through, didn't have a chance to win that Major League Baseball season. This year, first team to 20 wins, first team to 30 wins, first team to 40 wins. It's all in the Atlanta Braves. Good baseball club lurking around here.
They still have some guys, some starting pitchers on the shelf there that could help them down the road, but the Braves are sitting pretty right now.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
Christopher Sanchez is the right call right now. What am I missing? Why is Shohei Ohtani not right there with him? Well, is it the innings, Donnie? What is it? What am I missing here? Because if he qualifies for the pitching title and he throws a lot of innings and he leads the major leagues in earned run average and even whip, like, well, what am I missing?
Pro Baseball Today, only on SportsGrid.
Class is in session. Today, let's talk about the teaser. A teaser is a multi-leg bet where you shift the point spread in your favor. You get better numbers, but every selection has to win. It doesn't matter what you bet if you don't have the insights. Tune into SportsGrid and get ahead of the class.
Hey there, it's your buddy Craig Carton. If you're trying to find out how to get all the great content that me and Tyrone Johnson give you every single day, here's Tyrone to tell you how.
You can subscribe on Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Spotify, and of course, Amazon Music as well. We're at all four.
That's right. It's the Craig Carton Show podcast every weekday morning live at 11, replayed at noon on YouTube and on SportsGrid throughout the country. Check it out.
All right, we're off and running. Knights Canes, Game 4, Stanley Cup Final. We do have a pretty fun baseball board off and running right now as well, including what I tweeted earlier today, the spot of the year for Gabe on the baseball board. Dodgers as a dog against Paul Skeens. And let me say, Gabe, I don't think Paul Skeens can complain here that he only got 2 runs. I think that's got to be enough in a game like this. Like, I'm disappointed that he didn't leave the mound with a lead. I think that's on him.
Well, I got to tell you, this was the biggest, in the words of Keith Jackson, whoa, Nelly! The Carolina Hurricanes.
Ooh,
and
boy.
not only does McInnes, we said Canes. He said, look at the Canes to come out strong. And he goes, you know what? Stankoven's the guy that gets them back in this thing. Stankoven just scored.
Wow. That is quick.
Stankoven with a beautiful backhand. I just said it myself before, guys. Oh, look at that. Carter Hart. Big gaff by Carter Hart. Big gaff.
Yes.
Puck bounced off the back of the... Yeah, it's amazing how goalies get thrown off at the back of the backboard here behind the net with the boards. But puck came out, and it was sort of like rolling in front of the net, and Carter Hart went to swipe at it with his stick, and he missed. He missed, and the puck just rolled right to Stankoven in the slot, who just backhanded it, boom, over Carter Hart. Like, that's like 100% on the goalie, and then boom, Carolina ain't playing around right now. They just got Vegas to take a penalty. It's going to be a power play for Carolina.
6.5, Gabe, minus 154 to the over. Now, I'm sure the power play is influencing that, but I also think the books are like, oh, gosh. They just every game.
5.5. We just talked about it. This is the 4th most goals in the history of the Stanley Cup.
Gabe, I bet the under. I'm sitting here with an under.
They've been playing for this thing for a long time, Kevin. It's not new. Like, you know what I mean? Like, the most goals ever, 4th most goals.
Yeah.
Like, wow.
Yeah,
Carolina are in, they're not playing around mode. I brought it up earlier. Everyone's sort of like, you know how it is in sports, man. Team gets up by a game or two, and it's like, the other team is like, and all right, Carolina still haven't lost back-to-back games in the playoffs, and people buried them, Kevin. They're done, you know?
Yeah, I'm going to do something I probably shouldn't do.
You going to chase the under?
I'm going to bet the first period under 2.5. There's no way there's 3 goals.
Oh! I almost think like nothing will happen now for like 18 minutes, and then
oh yeah. By the way, I won't feel good
10
about
seconds
the
left
bet.
in the period.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, this thing's moving like I might not be able to get this in. The problem with like in the NBA, you get like a 14-minute commercial break to get a couple of picks in.
No, hockey, you got to think fast, bro. It's very annoying. It's like the sport itself.
Hey, you know, from minus 120 to minus 135, and it's not like it got bet. It's just a clock.
Oh, Vegas nearly just scored. Short-handed.
All right, you know what?
They're flying. This looks like an all-star game. This isn't a Stanley Cup game. It's like an all-star game. Both teams are just flying around, scoring chances. Like,
oh boy,
holy! I told you though. We talked about it before, Kevin. The odds makers. I wish Sharapan was alive to see this because like he'd get a laugh out of this. Like, what the hell are you supposed to do? They made it 5.5. Yet there's been 25 goals in 3 games. Boom, goal right away. Now they're like, oh damn, we're gonna make it 6.5. Watch, nothing will happen, and it's gonna drop to 4.5, and then it's gonna end up finishing at 8 still somehow.
Right.
Like this has been the weirdest roller coaster, no flow ever series.
I did pull up the under 4.5 just to see. It was 5-1. It will continue to play under. But because Gabe, it's exactly what you said though, right? Like at some point, although I don't know. No, never mind. I just got a sportsbook spoiler, as they like to call it. Oh my goodness. I don't mean to do that, but Gabe, you're going to have eyes on it before I will.
No! You know what? I'm a pretty good lip reader, and I love right after the goal here. You can read them. Let's effing go, boys. That's what he just said. Let's effing go, boys. Carolina are fired the F up right now. They're like, oh, yeah? I told you guys. You come back from a 4-0 lead and lose on a fluke goal. I saw people talking today. Oh, I don't see how they bounce back after that. I'm like, you're an idiot.
Who said
These guys
that?
are going to be thinking like, they're going to be thinking like, yeah, how do you bounce back after losing in overtime, coming back from 4-0? No, they're going to be going, guys, if we don't give up a play, we don't give up dumb goals early, we'll win. We'll beat them. Shout out to McInnes because that was Blake. Second line just scored again.
All right, I got to figure out if I actually want to clip these unders. This is getting out of control.
Terrible start last year, injured all the way through, didn't have a chance to win that Major League Baseball season. This year, first team to 20 wins, first team to 30 wins, first team to 40 wins. It's all been the Atlanta Braves. Good baseball club lurking around here.
They still have some guys, some starting pitchers on the shelf there that could help them down the road, but the Braves are sitting pretty right now.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
Christopher Sanchez is the right call right now. What am I missing? Why is Shohei Ohtani not right there with him? Well, is it the innings, Donnie? What is it? What am I missing here? Because if he qualifies for the pitching title and he throws a lot of innings and he leads the major leagues in earned run average and even whip, like, what am I missing?
Pro Baseball Today, only on SportsGrid.
Class is in session. Today, let's talk about the teaser. A teaser is a multi-leg bet where you shift the point spread in your favor. You get better numbers, but every selection has to win. It doesn't matter what you bet if you don't have the insights. Tune into SportsGrid and get ahead of the class.
Hey there, it's your buddy Craig Carton. If you're trying to find out how to get all the great content that me and Tyrone Johnson give you every single day, here's Tyrone to tell you how.
You can subscribe on Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Spotify, and of course, Amazon Music as well. We're at all 4.
That's right. It's the Craig Carton Show podcast every weekday morning live at 11, replayed at noon on YouTube and on SportsGrid throughout the country. Check it out.
All right, guys, we're back with you right here on a Tuesday night, 2-0 at Carolina.
Vegas nearly just scored, Kevin, again. Like, they nearly just scored. I'm going to throw it out there quickly because these numbers change, but you're getting 2.5 with Vegas right now. Now, listen, I'm on Carolina in this game, and I'm not the biggest hedger and stuff, but in hockey, two goals is a lot. And how many times have we seen guys in these playoffs over and over and over and over again? And it's almost cliche to say at this point, but the worst lead in hockey is a 2-0 lead. It just is. I don't know why. You know what I mean? Teams don't, when a football team's up 14-0, you don't think, oh, yeah, it's definitely, they're going to blow this. Right? But they do, like in hockey. Like 2-0 turns into 2-2 quickly often. And, we saw 4-0 turn into 4-4 the other night. So I'm just stating, Vegas at plus 2.5. I'm almost surprised they went to 2.5, Kevin. They just didn't say, no. We're not doing 2.5. We're doing 1.5 still.
Yeah. I think the issue that I'm finding is I am interested in fading this, these goals, but you basically have to sit at your computer, wait for the spoiler, and then click immediately, or you're dead to rights. Because they play a minute of hockey and everything moves 40 cents, which makes sense. But, to Gabe's point, like, things just go quickly here. And, it's what we've seen in this series. And, yeah,
there's a lot of hockey left. And there we go. Just talking about the 2.5. Mark Stone, Vegas just scored.
Yeah, I
told you guys to it plus 2.5.
I don't even know what's going on anymore.
You got to act. You got to act quickly. I told Kevin during the break. I said Vegas plus 2.5. I said, hey, I just told you guys when we came back from the break.
8.5 minus 122 to the under. Like a pure 8.5.
I'm not betting the under. I wouldn't be betting the under. This series is just old school. It is what it is. They're both scoring.
I'll step up. Someone's got it.
Dude, Vegas are going to watch. It's going to score again in a minute. It's going to be 2-2 in a minute. Like, it's constant. Like, it doesn't stop.
I think. Maybe 2-2, Gabe, is where these teams slow down and respect one another. It's got to be a range. No? What's the range, Gabe, where this thing,
We've only played 7.5 minutes of hockey.
Minus 130. I can't catch a break here on these numbers. Yeah, no, this is out of control. This is out of control.
3 goals.
What am I thinking? I'll tell you what. I would have had my least profitable, maybe show of my entire life if it was possible to get a live bet in. Everything I've said has been stupid and wrong.
How did I just not hammer the 5.5? I hate overs. Before the game, I'm like, yeah, dude, 5.5. Like, I'm not betting the under this. Like, they keep scoring all the time.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
Oh,
and you know what's wild, too? Carolina have 8 shots on goal, 2 goals. Vegas only have 2 shots on goal. They got 1 goal.
Yeah.
Now, hockey's
so let's
weird
talk
like
about that, Gabe. Different goalie. Like, did they overreact? They didn't even give themselves the option to put Anderson in the game, Gabe.
I'm not a Freddie Anderson hater either. I like Freddie and whatever, dude. Like, imagine how they would have killed Freddie if he would have been the one to give up a goal off the back of the boards in overtime.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, it was just, they wanted to shake things up. Right. And oftentimes, not really fully the goalie's fault or anything like that, but Anderson hasn't made that big save for them. Sort of been that thing. It's like, yeah, it's not your fault, but you're also not making the play, like that extra play. And our team, we need a little bit of a spark back here. It's a long series, too. Wouldn't shock me if Anderson's back in, right? Teams have played 2 goalies, and, this isn't new. But like Andrew stated, generally coaches go with the guy that got them there, right? And they don't trust somebody. So, I mean, this is a pretty ballsy move, Kevin. This is this dude's first ever playoff start, bro.
Right.
First ever playoff start.
Yeah.
So, like, if you're Carolina, and often, you know what it is, too? It's like the team will play better, Kevin. Like sometimes with a backup quarterback, but in hockey, it's like a great bet in the regular season. They call up the goalie from the AHL team and stuff. Always gets a shutout, bro. Because everyone on the team, right, they're like, listen, we don't know what we're going to get from this guy. It's his first ever playoff. It's first ever playoff game, and it's the Stanley Cup Finals tonight. Let's make it easier for him, right? And there's sort of a tendency like, don't worry about it. Our goalie's got it. right? Don't worry about it. Like the Canadians live like that. Oh, don't worry about it. Yeah, I made a mistake, but he'll stop it. Like, there's sort of a tendency of like, all right, guys, we got to play for this guy because, we got to make his life easier back here. And they really did it. I mean, I was on a breakaway there. But I got to tell you, he was out of position. And it wasn't, that wasn't good goaltending on the goal that you just gave up here. So my own personal opinion, I think they did overreact. But I'm not going to question Rod Brindamore's hockey. He knows his room better than I do.
I mean, yes and yes, right? I mean, yes. Look, he's obviously a coach people have a ton of respect for. But it is a very bold decision. Here's the reality with sport. Like, we are allowed to operate in hindsight. Like, your job as the coach is to be right when you do something like this. Like, yes, it's easy for me in hindsight to say you overreacted, but I get that. I get to do that. You have to make the right decision. Now, Carolina's still winning this hockey game, but...
You know what the problem is you lose this, let's say you lose this game and it doesn't play well. You're down 3-1 in the Stanley Cup Finals. Then what? You got to go back to Freddie Anderson, who you just basically told, I didn't really believe in you. But now can you win 3 games in a row for us in the Stanley Cup? Or you stick with the kid, and it's like you just threw your starting goalie under the bus because you lost one game.
Yeah.
Simple as that, right? And there's a flip side to it, Kevin, where at times it can provide a spark in the room. And it's almost like I said, like someone has to pay the price. It's almost like the military. You pick out one guy, and everyone's got to pay the price for it. It's almost like, listen, if they bench Freddie, man, they could bench me. Like, oh, man, he's our star goalie. Like, you're trying to send fear into people as well at the same point in time. But at the same point in time, Freddie has friends on the team. You know what I mean, Kevin? Like, it creates, you know what I mean? Some guys are at dinner going, what the F is Rod doing? What's our staff doing here? Well, we're changing our goalie after 98 games? Like, it's a panic move? Like, throwing him under the bus? Like, it can go both ways, man,
Like, a goalie is, I mean, it's as close as you can get to a quarterback, right? It really is.
Or a closer. It's like messing with a closer. Like, we don't trust you in game 2 of the World Series, but we're going to go back to you in game 5 and 6 now. Like, it's tough. It's a fragile position, goaltending. And goalies are very eccentric and thin-skinned. Like, they don't like to be messed with. Like, they like their little routines and stuff.
Right. But also, I guess it is interesting, Gabe, right? Like, the way Vegas did just roll Colorado. It's almost... You could almost argue it's disrespectful to Vegas that
Colorado went through goalies too. They mixed it up too.
Right. Like, I understand sometimes you have to do something, but it's almost like, here's the other thing though. You know what's funny? I'm saying all this. It worked in game 3, right? Like, I know they didn't win the game, Gabe, but the kid gave up 1 goal over 3 periods of hockey? Was it? Or
if you remember,
2.5?
You remember in the Pittsburgh Philadelphia series, same thing. They started Skinner, they lost. They went to Seelovs, and he played well. It was like, guys, maybe you should have started the backup in the first place.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I mean, but teams get sort of locked into this stuff, and that's the one thing with Vegas, though, Kevin. Like, that's why they are where they are. They don't care. Right? Like, they're like, no one wants to sign Carter Hart because this. We don't care. It's Las Vegas. Nobody who's going to complain about his past. They won't even know. And... worst things happen in Vegas daily. So that's the way they thought about it. They're like, whatever, it's Vegas. Yeah. And look, they fired their coach, bro. Stanley Cup winning coach. They fired their coach with like 2 weeks left in the regular season. Not a lot of teams would do that. They'd say, you know what, we'll ride it out. Whatever happens, happens, right? And we'll fire him after the year's over. They're like, no. We're going to fire him now, and we're going to hire John Tortorella. Like, people in Vegas didn't even like this at the time, right? But they like it now.
They certainly do. We're going to mix in some of these World Cup futures after the break. I have one that I guarantee Gabe likes. Guarantee.
Terrible start last year, injured all the way through, didn't have a chance to win that Major League Baseball season. This year, first team to 20 wins, First team to 30 wins, first team to 40 wins. It's all in the Atlanta Braves. The baseball club lurking around here.
They still have some guys, some starting pitchers on the shelf there that could help them down the road, but the Braves are sitting pretty right now.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
Christopher Sanchez is the right call right now. What am I missing? Why is Shohei Ohtani not right there with him? Well, is it the innings, Donnie? What is it? What am I missing here? Because if he qualifies for the pitching title and he throws a lot of innings and he leads the major leagues in earned run average and even whip, like, what am I missing?
Pro Baseball Today, only on SportsGrid.
Class is in session. Today, let's talk about the teaser. A teaser is a multi-leg bet where you shift the point spread in your favor. You get better numbers, but every selection has to win. It doesn't matter what you bet if you don't have the insights. Tune into SportsGrid and get ahead of the class.
Hey there, it's your buddy Craig Carton. If you're trying to find out how to get all the great content that me and Tyrone Johnson give you every single day, here's Tyrone to tell you how.
You can subscribe on Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Spotify, and of course, Amazon Music as well. We're at all four.
That's right. It's the Craig Carton Show podcast every weekday morning live at 11, replayed at noon on YouTube and on SportsGrid throughout the country. Check it out.
All right, let's rip a couple of crew picks behind the scenes, and involves actually myself as well. I am playing the over at course tonight, 12.5 big number, but I'm going to play over in Rockies Cubs. Behind the scenes, the baseball boys are at it again. Reds money line, Nats Giants over the number. And then, Gabe, I got to tell you, we were both focused on the NBA last night.
Look at our boy Koski.
Well, over 4.5 home runs in Brewers A's. I didn't know the game was being played at a Little League stadium. I didn't know. 13.5 total tonight.
We talked about the Sacramento, park and the desert and all that, but Vegas is even worse, Kevin, as we saw last night. Yeah, we didn't really focus in on it. I knew about the game in Vegas. We should have been clearer about it. And it was wild. I didn't take the over in the game. All right, I don't bet the over. I remember I took Milwaukee. I'm losing like 9-4. And I swear to God, Kevin, I was thinking I should take the Brewers again. They're going to come back. I swear. I was like, they're going to come back. I was like, this park is like insane. So they put up 30 runs. They adjusted. They adjusted tonight.
There's only so much. 13.5.
13.5 now?
This is the fun. Like, a part of me felt silly because I was like, man, the 11 looks high. But again, I didn't bet it. I didn't look much more into it. So then it happens like, oh, that should have been a signal. I go, actually, no, it shouldn't have. They were wrong by 18 runs. I'm fine with thinking the 11 looked like, the whole thing was obviously crazy here.
The temperature is the exact same. Just for the record, it's the exact same scenario today.
Can I tell you something, Gabe?
The ball.
It's a little old.
I know.
Me. I hate these
I'm a
games.
DGM better, Kevin.
I don't think
I'm a DGM better. I bet the Pacific Coast League and stuff like this. So I know about Reno and Vegas and the Area 51s and stuff.
Yeah.
Overs, baby. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Reno,
clearly.
Salt Lake City, Las Vegas, Sacramento is a minor league city.
Red Sox went to London 5 years ago. That's what that was last night.
Yeah, but remember the next game after the Yankees and Red Sox scored 1 million runs, it went under the next game.
Well, that's why it would be under, which is again, and I can't do it to him again. But Chris being over 4.5 home runs, books aren't ready for it.
We gotta go. We gotta go.
Yeah, good thing I stepped away from this game. I'll lose my
sometimes
my under.
So you got to close the computer. Close the computer. 3-1. 3-1 Carolina. That was a big goal for Carolina, obviously, because 2-2 is big difference, right? 3-1. Ooh.
Yep.
Big goal for the Carolina Hurricanes right there. And I got to tell you, another bad goal by Carter Hart here.
Wow,
and I don't want to pick on him. He's played great, but first goal, he swatted a puck. He missed it. It ended up in a slot. This one, he gloved it, and same thing. He didn't catch it. So he should have caught it. He didn't. It dropped in front of him, and Stahl just knocked it in the net. I'm not one of those very Freddie Anderson-like type thing, Kevin. Not his fault. Not your fault, but like to see him make a play.
More. Right.
Yeah, it's that sort of you know what I mean? Like, Freddie was in the same thing. It was like, dude, like Freddie Anderson has a lot of haters out there, right? People like it, dude. Hockey fans are like the worst, all right? So I told you he sucks, and blah, 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 like he's overrated, and it's like, dude, how are you going to stop that? You going to stop Mitch Marner on that? No, you're not. So you want to blame him for it, fine. And oftentimes the goalie gets the blame when there's a million defensive breakdowns. These goalies are on their own tonight. Let's just call it out for what it is. Carter Hart, he's faced 11 shots here and legitimate scoring chance. Here, Carolina's again in front of the net. He just made a nice save.
Just a quick mention, Gabe, of the Conn Smythe market that McKinnis brought up. Mitch Marner, due to the score of this game, is down to -170. The series is pick. So it's a good point by him that Marner is being priced, in a different realm than just Vegas wins.
The value's on the Canes guys now only, really. It's flipped.
Yeah,
it sort of goes back and forth.
The thing is, what I would say
they
for
just
Marner,
locked it.
What makes the case, Gabe, is that he's only going against skaters now, right? The goalies are out. And
if Marner's not winning this, if Vegas doesn't win,
it'd have to be in 7. He'd have to continue to play, and contribute, Gabe. If he's the only player who gets 30 points this postseason, is that enough?
Well, didn't we just discuss, is it the finals or the playoffs, right?
The only thing is, and I'm
just going to throw it out here
right away.
Updated right now. Stankoven is +375. Taylor Hall is +400. Jackson Blake is 18-1. So it's kind of still open, but he is right about Stankoven. Taylor Hall sort of had the points, and he's the name guy, and he was the number 1 pick in the NHL draft years ago. So he has sort of a brand name to him. But the fact is, Stankoven's heating up right now. And that line is just dominating, and he keeps scoring. So if Carolina wins, Stankoven's a big part of this. We saw he scored the opening goal. Stankoven's in play here at +375. And just to put in context, guys, to compare, Kevin, and this is interesting, the series is a pick'em right now. Vegas is -110 and Carolina's -110. So series is a pick'em, but you're getting all these guys in Carolina at +375 and +400. That's value on Carolina players.
Yeah, the only thing is, like I said, I had the same reaction as you. Is there's no way it's Marner without a Vegas win. He entered into this game with twice as many, literally 28-14 points, him versus Stankoven. So, I'll be honest, I wasn't aware that nobody on Carolina had 20 points, right? That's probably a big reason Freddie Anderson was the favorite that he was, Gabe, in a way.
But they also... That's what makes them good, right? That they have they're balanced, right? They're like that football team that has 3 running backs. It's always a bitch to choose who you want to score the touchdown. Fantasy football or betting prop. You're I don't know, dude. The
Steelers.
Patriots. I don't know, man. You're gonna give it to him. They might give it to him. The Eagles do that. Your Eagles. They never give it to Barkley.
They start. The worst was that they were you know what we're gonna do? Play action, Dallas Goedert. It's no one's got that.
Yeah.
You gotta be kidding me.
We're gonna run the tush push with Dallas Goedert, right? They like to screw with people.
Oh yeah,
it's good coaching, but it's always it's just frustrating for bettors all the time. Come on, I got Hurts and Barkley, and you give it to Goddard,
right? I'm safe regard. Oh no.
Yeah.
All right, let's put some World Cup futures on the board before we get out of here. And there's a couple that I'm really excited about. We'll do some of the outright winners tomorrow. There was a market, though, that really jumped off the page to me, which was teams to score in every group game. So it's 3 games. And, there's some minus 500 England, minus 700 Brazil. But there is a plus 110 and a minus 110 that really caught my eye. Croatia plus 110. Oh, Canada, minus 110. And here is what I think makes this very, very simple handicaps. There's only one team Croatia may not score against. England. I'll take plus 110. They score against England. There's only one team Canada may not score against. Switzerland. I'll take minus 110. They score against Switzerland. The other 2 teams in those teams' respective groups, Gabe, bad defensively. So I think those are really, really nice bets heading into the World Cup.
Fun stuff right there. I've got a prop involving Canada here, guys. Yet I'm going to go with Erling Haaland and Kylian Mbappe to score more goals than Canada. Canada want to play lower scoring games, right? And, I got to be realistic, and we need to be realistic about how far Canada's really going to go in this tournament. And the round of 16 is the absolute ceiling. Right, so they're going to be in tough to get through the group of the round of 32, I think, to be honest with you. They'll get out of the group, and in that round of 32 knockout game, unless they win their group, they're going to play either Mexico or South Korea in Los Angeles. It's not going to be easy. Or the Czech Republic, Czechia, which would be more manageable a little bit. But, dude, Mbappe is going deep in the tournament. Erling Haaland scored 16 goals, guys, in 8 qualifying games. He didn't play in all their games, but he scored 16 goals in the 8 games that he played in. All right, that's 2.40, 2.04 for the number of nerds out there. Goals per 90. The guy's just a machine. But here's a couple of group winners. I really am high on the Mexicans, Kevin, coming into this tournament. I look forward to Thursday's game and breaking it down. Mexico have made it to the quarterfinals twice in their nation's history only. Both times is when they hosted the World Cup in 1970 and 1986. And now they're hosting again. They have a favorable group with Czechia, South Africa, and blah blah the other team in their group. What is it? Sweden. And so they got a manageable group here. Mexico minus 127, minus 137. Yeah. South Korea, excuse me, and South Korea, more than manageable. Switzerland. I hate to say this, they go against Canada, but I don't want to be a homer. Canada finishes second in the group. They're not going to win the group over Switzerland. Switzerland are a dangerous team. I think Switzerland could actually make the quarterfinals. This is going to be the best Swiss team in the history of their World Cup. They have a goal of doing some real damage. They have a bunch of young studs on this team. They're good for real, Switzerland. Canada are good, but not on Swiss's level. So I would say Switzerland's going to win the group. I love that prop. Switzerland 1, Canada 2, but you're going to love this one, Kevin. Look at Argentina's group. This off the top of my head. So Argentina, bro, who's in their group? Argentina, Austria, Algeria, and Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
Right? They're the defending champions. They're going to win their group. Then you get Spain. So guys, if you parlay Spain and Argentina to both win their groups, it's minus 167. That's not bad.
It's not.
If you really think of the reality of them not winning the group, Kevin. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No,
this is we're getting really 1 seeds in the NCAA tournament.
Yep. It's a great
comparison. And here's another one I'll throw at you. Little pour la français. France and Belgium. A little French-speaking parlay here. Right? France to win their group. Norway's the threat, but France are going to beat Norway. And Belgium are being slept on. People look at Belgium as some sort of losers or underachievers and stuff like that, but they don't lose in the group stages, Kevin. Right? Yeah. Belgium have been bounced in the quarters and stuff like that, and people are the Final Four, and people call them, "Oh, you're underachievers." They're good. You know what I mean? And they got a very favorable group. Belgium are good. Belgium, France parlay together to win the group minus 112. I'll have a bunch more tomorrow as far as to qualify, Kevin. I got some fun ones.
Yeah, I got a lot of good. Some of those teams Gabe mentioned, I'll talk about in the outright market. I took Lamine Yamal under 2.5 goals. I think this number's actually crazy. It's 1 less goals than Holland. Gabe, he's missing the first 2 games. I'm not sure he plays in the group stage. I don't think
he will play it. They won't need him. They won't need him in the group stage. Yeah.
2 chances here. Highest scoring group: Group I, Group L. If you could only bet one, Group I, the France group, France and Norway might combine to score 10 goals in just the games against Iraq. Just the games against Iraq. They might score 10 goals.
Well, Senegal and France, bro. There's gonna be some goals. Hey, take Burns over strikeouts.